Good road win for the Ravens. And I know the expectations were higher against a team like Detroit, but when you go on the road and get a win on the road, it is huge. And to forget what the expectations were, particularly in the way they did it. They came back after so many things were against them. Looks like the game was not going to happen their way and fought their way back through it. A lot of positives in the game. They had 5 explosive plays, did the Ravens, to only 2 by the Lions. And that's the kind of ratio you want to maintain. The Ravens ran for 116 yards, surpassing 100 yards for the 42nd straight game to pull within 1 of the NFL records set by the Pittsburgh Steelers in 1974 through 77. And of course, Mark Andrews had a big game, 5 receptions for over 100 yards. Let's look at a couple of the receptions that Andrew had, because it was kind of a variation on a theme, and Lamar did a good job reading it. The very first one, you can see he's going to set a bunch route here, and he's at the top with this bunch. And what they do is they crossed Andrews in behind 2 shallow routes on the bottom of the formation. Clearly, Detroit wanted to play a passive zone, and so there were going to be these holes in this intermediate area. And that's exactly where Andrews was able to show up, and Lamar did a good job in reading it. Now you're going to see Andrews here. He's at the slot at the bottom in a 2x2, and this is a classic, what we used to call a 3-level throw. You're going to go vertical at the bottom. Okay, that's going to pull coverage. Andrews is running kind of the intermediate route with a corner with the shallow route underneath. Lamar does a great job. Again, very passive zone by the Detroit Lions. They did not want to get beat with big plays down the field. So nice job of Lamar finding him in that 15 to 20 yard range underneath the deep route and on top of the shallow route. Now, it's kind of the same mentality. We're going to come back here and we're going to see in a 2x2 formation, you're going to see Andrews coming all the way across from the top, but instead of shallow routes, they go vertical at the bottom to clear that out. It's the same kind of play, as you can see. You got vertical routes. He's working to that 15 to 20 yard area in behind the shallow route at the bottom. So again, this is a little bit different type of 3-level throw. Nice job, nice patience by Lamar, waiting for that to clear out and then hitting Andrews again on another big play on all kind of the same concepts. Now, we got to talk a little bit about some of the negative things that happened, obviously. 1 and 10 on 3rd down, that can't happen. Last week against Kansas City, they obviously were very, very good. 1 for 10 is something obviously they've got to give some focus to. They lost the time of possession, which is something you don't really normally see a lot. And of course, the 3 drops by Marquise Brown. That's not going to happen again. I don't know what was going on. So those are kind of mistakes that can be overcome. But let's look at the 2 3rd downs and how they came about that way. The first one, this was on a 3rd and short. You're going to see the right tackle, the defensive lineman or the right tackle just blows up the right tackle and kind of disrupts the play. The back has to jump to the outside. Marquise Brown comes down, misses the safety, and now he's able to turn that back into the trash, so to speak, and you get no conversion on 3rd down. The next one is just, I think we're kind of a victim of our own success with Lamar. We're so used to seeing him make these type of plays. It was only a 4-man rush, okay? And very passive on the back end. Watch number 97, the nose tackle. He does a good job spying on Lamar. Lamar sees it's not going to happen down the field. He scrambles up. He's protecting the ball. He's going to take off. The nose tackle is right there to contend with. The linebackers come screaming up. We're so used to seeing Lamar spin out of this and make spectacular plays. That would be a lot on this. You got to give Detroit credit. They just did a great job. Now, this is the one I got to show you, because we got to talk about how the game finished and this big play. This was the big play, obviously. Again, kind of a variation on the theme. It's a 4th and 19. And naturally, you'd expect Detroit to be very passive. In his post-game interview, Lamar said he was a little surprised to see only a 3-man rush, so he was very comfortable waiting this out. And again, it was kind of a variation on the theme. You're going to see Sammy Watkins coming from the bottom of the formation. At the top, they went vertical. So just like we saw with the Andrews catch, you go vertical, you bring a deep crossing route. Watkins did a nice job of making sure that he was at the depth at the time of the throw so that the catch would give them the 1st down. Excellent job by the offensive line. Great patience by Lamar, waiting for that big, deep crossover for a huge 4th down conversion to set up what was going to be obviously a record kick by Justin Tucker. Now we got to talk about Justin a little bit. This guy is a force in the NFL. The combination of Justin Tucker with playing good defense, what they do running the ball. Tucker's now made 50 straight field goals in the fourth quarter or overtime, which is amazing. 7 of those were 50-plus yards. He's never missed a kick in the final minute of regulation, 16 for 16. He is such a huge part of the equation for the Baltimore Ravens. They're going to need that going into Denver. Teddy Bridgewater is playing very, very well. Playing 3 out of the 4 on the road is always a challenge for the Ravens. So going into Denver is going to be tough. But this combination of good defense, get the third down corrected. Obviously, Marquise Brown's not going to drop the ball like that 2 games in a row. And they have what they need with, obviously, Justin Tucker in their back pocket to win on the road in Denver.